Hey everybody, Amy, we're back. Welcome back to Words with Wayman. I am your host, as always, Matt Wayman. As always, support us on Twitter, Words with Wayman, on Facebook, Words with Wayman, and also support our number one and only sponsor, FourthCityDesigns.com, providing apparel solutions for the people of St. Louis and beyond. Check them out. Amazing shirts, amazing people over there. We're going to get into it. Very special. We got a double guest day, everybody. Please welcome to the podcast, nationally touring full-time comedian Spencer James.
Hello.
And also Dylan Aames, former member. Yeah. He's been on this podcast before.
Number one. Am I still number one?
Number one.
Why don't you let somebody else say it?
No.
If you let me say it, you would have looked a lot more gracious.
He was the number one most downloaded podcast that we've ever had.
How was that first out of your mouth? Just number one.
Got to self-promote, baby. It's all about self-promotion. You know that.
Dude,
That's what
so you're Dylan Aames? I'm number one, right? Am I still number one?
Am I still number one? Which you're the reason that we met, so I thought it's fitting that you were here, and you were also at the bar that we did this at. So we're just like, jump in.
Yeah, I said you got to get in touch with Spencer when he's not on the road.
He's my number one guest. You are my number one guest for podcasts.
It's taken a while, but I finally got you out. We got you out to the podcast, so thank you much for coming out.
Man.
Thank both of you for being out. I guess first question is, how did you, Spencer, get into comedy?
Stand-up comedy or just like getting on stage?
Did you do improv before? Or did you do?
I had an acting theater scholarship for college.
Nice.
So I've always been on stage. I was dancing when I was 5.
Nice.
Doing the moonwalk and stuff.
You still have that dancer's body.
Oh, thank you.
That hot, sweet dancer
I know
body.
I need to lose weight. So
No.
but yeah, the dancing and then the singing and acting came in middle school. And then throughout high school, talent shows, and then scholarship.
Nice.
And then, I was part of an improv troupe. And then
Improv's fun.
23, I think. 23 is when I first stepped on stage. 22
Nice.
23.
Did you know right away you're like, this is it?
Oh, yeah, because I did horrible. Yeah.
And you wanted more because you did bad?
Oh, are we allowed to curse on this one?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I ate a dick. Yeah,
Nice.
I ate a dick my first time. I'm very competitive. So I was like, I want to do that again.
Have you ever done stand-up, Dylan, or improv, Dylan? Did you ever get into that?
stand-up?
Yes.
Have you done stand-up?
No to both. I was in drama. I was in drama when I was in high school, and we did improv. I didn't like it. Improv wasn't for me.
Because it was with other people, I feel like that's why a lot of people don't like it, because it's almost like a team sport.
Yeah, probably. Maybe, I don't know.
You got to rely on a bunch of other people to be funny, too.
It's easier.
I wasn't that really. I wasn't that good at it.
It is
it's
easier.
definitely easier. Oh, yeah. Somebody sets up the punchline, or somebody sets you up, and all you got to do is the punchline.
Yeah.
Improv is definitely easier. There's a cushion. You can fail, because somebody else can bring up the rear.
And you don't have to think of anything. You don't have to think about the set in your head. You don't have to think about timing, pacing.
No, it's hands down easier. At least in my perspective.
That's
you can
what I
bomb the
loved
entire
about
show,
it.
and it still be a good show because the other people did better.
Yeah.
They still had a good time.
Or you can be the guy that just sets everybody up, so you just kind of like throw those lobs up there, and everybody else will just come and knock it out the park.
You can Drew carry the entire thing.
Do you think that it's crucial? Do you think it's doing improv has made your stand-up different? Or like, I guess...
it helped me at the beginning because I had no idea how to write. I had no idea how to write, so I just started making fun of the audience after bombing for a while. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go back to what I know. And I just started making fun of people in the audience. I just Don Rickled them.
Nice.
And then a guy saw me and was like, I think this is how you need to write. And that worked for me. Story writing was good for me.
Okay. Because I feel like every comic, when they get into it, is like, what I want to do is tell stories on stage. And you're like, that's not how this goes.
No. I never even thought about stand-up. I never thought about it. And then I did an acting thing, and this lady for Gilmore Girls, she was the casting director, and she was like, why don't you try stand-up, because we're looking for stand-up. And I was like, okay. So I went to a show, and I thought those guys were horrible, and I was like, I can do this.
Yeah.
And I got on stage, and I ate that dick.
Why was
hard.
the Gilmore Girls looking for stand-up?
It was at a World Talent Convention in Hawaii. It was one of these mass things that you go to where you meet casting directors and agents.
Cool. And that was pretty early in your career?
That was before I ever did stand-up.
Nice.
So that was acting.
So they kind of pushed you into it?
She recommended it. And
Did you ever do any like national TV roles or anything like that?
No, I was an extra on some shows that were in Hawaii.
Nice.
So Lost, North Shore, but I don't think any of it ever made it to screen.
Yeah.
So it was just hanging out for $88.
I feel like a lot of stand-ups especially come from like the more of that acting background. You know, you do these whole things with everybody. I know at least some big stand-ups these days all start acting. Amy
I don't
Schumer,
know.
I think, is a big one.
Amy Schumer was acting before she did stand-up?
Yeah, she went to college for theater.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I know like Adam Sandler went from stand-up to that.
Yeah. I feel like it's a natural progression because you know how to play characters. And, what we do on stage is play our own character.
What always gets me is that like I just found out Michael Keaton was a stand-up comedian before he
Really?
did anything. Michael Keaton did stand-up. That's how he got noticed. He was on at the Comedy Store all the time with Rich Hall. Rich is like, yeah, he lives in Montana, and we hang out all the time. Rich Hall's on Saturday Night Live. So we were in Vegas, and he was talking about all these people that used to do stand-up. And I was like, Michael Keaton did stand-up?
That's insane.
Before Batman? He's like, yeah.
So I played that Batman character so well. It's just
Yeah.
Dylan, we have to use we got to use the microphones on this GD thing.
I was gonna say he's been talking this entire time. Just his mic's been off.
His mic. We didn't do that on
This
purpose.
is a boring ass podcast. Where the fuck is Dylan at?
He has been in the bathroom for the past 45 minutes. Everybody, we've tried to get him out, but they won't let
With
us.
the mic.
Yeah.
With the mic.
We
We took the mic with him. Detached it.
Why they won't let us record in the bathroom anymore? I don't know.
Take the mic home with you.
So you got into stand-up. How was your early career? I mean, where were you performing at? And how'd you get up? Like open mics, or was it more showcases? Or
Open mics. Hawaii didn't have a big open mic scene, so I mean there was like 6-7 month gaps in between stand-up to see if I even wanted to do this. I was going to school, working 2 jobs, and then I had like 5-6 minutes and thought I was really good, and
I feel
went to L.A. and realized I wasn't.
So you took the jump immediately. You're like LA all day.
Well, I took the jump. I think everybody does. Where you take the jump, and then I made the jump, and I was like, "Oh man, I don't want to do this."
Well, Dylan did it completely differently, from doing stand up into Denver and getting an agent in LA and still kind of working out of Denver. I think the model that is kind of changing a little bit, where you can do it from wherever.
Yeah, when I first did it, I was in LA for like 8 months, and then I came to Denver. But I only had about 6-7 minutes of stand up to my belt. So
We've talked about this too.
Is it on? It's on. Dylan just checked the microphone.
He just made sure
and his
that it
phone's
was
not
on.
on silent. God, you are fucking this up on purpose to keep your #1 rating.
You said, yeah.
Good
He's
God.
totally trying to keep that the #1 promoted Words with Wayman,
just
so he's trying to
jeopardizing
sabotage.
the whole thing.
Anyway, where can people find that episode? We've talked about moving to LA, though, when the time is right, where there's kind of like, there's a necessity there, and not falling into that, trap of trying to go out. I mean, I lived in LA for several years I didn't do comedy, didn't do acting, any of that, just for school. But I mean, just seeing all of like the desperation and misery,
Forced confidence,
of people,
Yeah.
like moving their whole lives out there. To me, it was like, just for my own sanity, I would rather do as much as possible from here and not go out to LA until it's like absolutely necessary.
Well, here's my thing, because a lot of guys have gone to LA in the past year or two out here in Denver. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my dream wasn't like to chase fame. That's not a goal. You can't get that. That's just not. You're relying on somebody else to give that to you.
Yeah.
Now, numbers and social media, you can hit that. I understand that process. I understood that last year.
Some more of
Dylan
the business
understands
mentality.
that. He's number one on the podcast. But I can understand that, and maybe I'm coming late to the game on the social media part, but I still feel L.A., this is the thing that breaks down for me for Los Angeles, is it's the 6th largest economy in the world if it was its own country. It's like moving to Dubai. So if you have no money in Denver, you're going to have less money when you get to California. So don't go. Just go, especially if you're a man. If you're a man, the roles increase for us as we get older. No one heard about Mel Gibson until Lethal Weapon, until he was already in his 30s. No one gave a shit about Ray Romano until he had his own sitcom.
Harrison Ford was painting houses for years.
Until he was 30.
Yeah.
So anybody that's it's like, I got to go, I'm running out of time. No, you're not. Billy Bob Thornton made his own shit. Vin Diesel made his own shit and took it to film festivals. And it's like, no. For women, yes. Women, you have a certain time limit. And people now are like, well, women got a lot more roles. No, it's still the same shit. There's still not as many roles that there used to be. With men, as we get older, the roles increase.
Yeah.
Like, if I shave and lose like 20 pounds, I can play 45, I can play 25.
So it's more just like create your own stuff and wait for you to get brought out almost?
Do it when you're comfortable. I'd love to live in Southern California, but I need to be making money where I'm comfortable being there. Otherwise, I don't go. I'm not gonna go out there and just be. I think Dylan's right. I do want to go. I mean, for January 2018, that would be a goal. But I'm hoping that my money is right between now. Like, I just went full-time stand-up.
Yeah.
Like, full-time, no safety net,
Congrats,
no nothing.
that's awesome.
Thank you. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still, there's always been a part-time job. So, technically, I went full-time in 2009. But this has been, there is no safety net. Like, there is only stand-up. This is comedian.
I feel like the grind is glorified a little bit. Like, the people say, like, oh, like, you go out to LA and grind out for 5 or 10 years, like, that's going to make you better if you only get up once a month, whereas opposed to people like Dylan, who you can have some other form of income coming in all of the time and still be able to kind of do what you want, but still be able to submit to these late night shows and have an agent.
That's the key right there, is what you just said, is what you want. What do you want? And for me, it's working backwards. What is the ultimate goal, and how do you get there? So what do you need by this date? What do you need by that date? Like, nothing I did was ever without thinking ahead 2 or 3 years down the road. So I was like, I want to spend 5 years on the road. I just want to know what that's like. Yeah. To earn it, so when I get on stage, I don't have to ask anybody questions. Yeah, like no one's gonna come to me at the comedy store or like what I'm doing. You know what I'm talking about. But I mean, it's like I wanted to know if something happens on stage, how do I handle it?
Do you like that road life? Because for me, whenever I go on the road after like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'm like, I'm done.
No, I love traveling.
Nice.
I love traveling. I love doing stand up. I wish the rooms were better. But I'm in a weird spot now where I'm a strong feature, but I don't have any headlining credits. So I'm not a draw. Yeah. So I need to get out of this gap.
Well, the draw is like the sitcoms, right? And the reason that some people have to go out to
YouTube,
LA, right?
social media. Yeah. That's another way too. That's something I can control.
Vlogs and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I have one every Wednesday. It just started a few weeks ago.
What's it called?
It's just a vlog. There is no name. It's just
nice.
Spencer James.
Cool.
Just follow it and it drops every Wednesday.
Cool.
So it's got a title for each video, but follows me in Vegas, follows me.
What do you record those on? Is it just a
phone? You can do everything from the iPhone now.
Cool.
It's good. I mean, it's good quality. Just go on and look at it. It's still pretty good.
Nice. You don't buy like any lenses or anything. It's just
you can film it. You can edit it right from there. You're traveling on the road. You can't really take all that stuff with you.
Yeah, I'm sure. Just have all of that gear.
But yeah, man, I think getting to that, you have to be extremely lucky to be one of those people that becomes Kevin Hart or become. Yeah. But if you go to Kevin Hart's Twitter page, he doesn't say he's a comic. He just says, I work hard. And he's had to have people help him along the way. We mentioned Judd Apatow earlier. Yep. Judd Apatow put him in 40-Year-Old Virgin. Nobody remembers that.
Big role for him.
He got a development deal. He went broke. He got Shaq to give him specials. Shaquille O'Neal was like, man, I'm putting you in all this stuff. Like there's stuff that helped him along the way, but he still worked hard in order to get it. So
I think the work is definitely there, but you're also right. It is. I mean, which I think why you're very good, and I think you understand. I think Dylan gets it the same of realizing the business side of this business instead of just like going up on stage to be funny and just have fun.
Dude, nobody cares. Nobody cares how funny you are. They really don't. I mean, it's
a prereq
they
almost.
Don't, man. Like if. Let's say the funniest dude in Denver that nobody knows, right? Let's say the funniest guy in Denver is going to be headlining the Improv, and Kim Kardashian says that she wants to do a show there. Is he keeping his shit? No. They're selling tickets.
Brent Gill just got bumped for Roseanne like a week ago.
He just got bumped for Roseanne?
Yeah, Roseanne was coming in on a Monday, and he was headlining it, and they're like, get out of here.
The Brent's, without saying it, Brent is a phenomenal comedian, more so than Roseanne.
But he could never touch. She's going to sell it out.
Not right now.
I'm sure it's already sold out.
But if like Kim Kardashian was coming, girls would buy tickets. I would buy a ticket. I want to know what the fuck she's going to say.
I would love to see her do stand-up.
Yeah, for 45 minutes? Yeah, I want to watch this train wreck.
Oh, God.
I'll film the first comedian I've ever filmed when I'm not allowed. That would be the first thing I do. But it's like, when guys sit here and be like, oh, man, you just got to work on your art and you'll be the funniest. No, you have to do that. There's not a time where you show up on stage and people like... There was a guy a long time ago sent out like a mass email and asked everybody like, "Hey, if you book me for a show or you recommend me and I don't get laughs, I will refund half their money." Why would you ever send that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine selling a vacuum cleaner and be like, if it doesn't work, just bring it back and you give me 20 out of the $40 back? Like, I don't understand where that business mentality comes from.
People are delusional.
It is expected that you have to get a laugh. Yeah. You have to get a laugh. That goes without saying. That has to be done. The other 99% of the shit that I do or other people do is networking, finding people that understand, people that book me pay their rent based off of how I do.
Nice.
That's how you gotta look at it.
So you don't want to let them down. I mean, you got to bring everything to the table.
Try 100% every time. And there's nothing you can do. You're gonna bomb. That's just gonna happen. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah,
you're gonna bomb.
And if you don't, then this would not be as hard of a business as it is. Like if you just went up and did great all the time,
dude,
it wouldn't even be as fun.
Yeah, I think it's fun. Some people I've never bombed. So you're not putting yourself in the right position.
Well, you're just delusional because you don't realize that you're eating shit all of the time. We're getting down to the end of this first episode. I guess just what if for somebody that trying to get into stand-up, maybe thought about getting into stand-up, what advice would you have for somebody that doesn't know any of the business side or is just starting?
Don't.
Cool. And why?
Don't. Because if you can hear me say that and still go out and try it, then fine. This is going to be way more hard work than you think it's going to be. Mm-hmm. If you want to be a comic, which is someone that I classify as I was a comic. I was a comic until May 22nd of this year. Now I'm a comedian. And I got that from Josh Sneed, who said he pays his bills. That's all he does. And he pays his bills with that.
I've seen him rip up at clubs, too. I mean, Dude. I saw him when I was in college. And
he didn't give me the definitions. He just mentioned, this is all I do. That's what pays my bills. And I was like, I want to get to that point.
Good for him.
Then I'll say I'm a comedian when I'm at that point.
Yeah.
Until then, you're a comic because you got paid. Before that, you're an open micer if you never got paid before.
That's true.
That's what I think the lineage needs to be. Mm-hmm. And for me, if you want to be an open micer, cool. If you want to get paid, you're a comic. But I would never compare what I do to someone like at a higher level than me. Mm-hmm. I would ask them, how did you get here? How did you do this? What happened? That I want to be where you're at.
Yeah.
How do I do that? And if it never happens, it never happens. But I at least want to work. But I would never compare myself to that person.
Yeah.
I would never,
I think you got the stuff, and that's why I had you on this podcast, so I could steal all your tricks and little whistles and all that stuff.
I'll just write them down. I'm still.
But that is not going to be it, because we definitely got another part 2 coming up. Before we get out of here, you want to plug all your stuff, whatever you want to let people know?
No, are we done?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the first part 1.
Oh, part 1.
Do another part 2.
At Comedian Spencer.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that if you Google Comedian Spen, that I'm the name that comes up.
Heck yeah.
So, Spencer James, it'll finish it. So at Comedian Spencer, I got a video drops every Wednesday.
Nice.
And follow me on Instagram, please.
And Dylan, I know your microphone didn't work for the first half of this, but do you want to plug some stuff before we get out of here?
Yeah, at Dylan Aames, and any comics who are around looking for shows, Spencer James, at Spencer James.
Especially out in LA if you want those shows. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Support us online at Words with Wayne on Twitter. Same on Facebook. Thank you all so much for listening, and we'll be back soon.